afternoon in the heart of Texas. No weather to speak of. Sun out, roof open. Yes, yes, and yes. A great day for football at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the New York Giants. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And the Dallas Cowboys. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give them 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first. So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. And he'll give it here to his running back. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 20 on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point safely through, and that makes the score 7-0. 5 plays there on that drive. And the last play, a really nice run that culminated in the touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Go now, 50, plant.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
They'll run it now out of the gun.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. Off play action. Herbert, no, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
And the Giants send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Taken in at the 22. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. On 1st down, Stanley being chased out left. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They'll run on first down. It's Stevens. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And New York set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together.
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack.
That was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. Taken right around the 44. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
50 X3, 218, chopper.
On 1st and 10, Stanley. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. Wide open receiver, complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He's trying to get his 2nd touchdown already in the first half.
They had that one earlier. Was bidding for a 2nd. They'll try the left side. It's Craig, and he will take it in for a Cowboy score. A great effort there. His 21st touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? Well, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket. But I think they have to look at, okay, are we bringing in extra people? Is the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick enough? There are a few other factors they have to look at to try and help out. But you're exactly right. It starts with the O-line. starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And they'll go ahead and down this one right on the chalk of the 20-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. A nice first down pickup on a gain of 6.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 42. Throwing on first down. Stanley. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. That one good for 37 yards.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. A great play there. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need it. Rush coming, and he's taken down. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And great field position coming up in the red zone at the 17-yard line. And they came out of the locker trailing. Not a good way to start this second half with their first drive.
Can't imagine that the discussion at halftime encompassed this at all. In fact, I'm sure they talked about, okay, kind of wipe the slate clean, start the second half, and let's go out and play the way we know that we can. That's not a great example of it.
They didn't envision that. They'll keep it on the ground. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Cowboys use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point up and through, and that will extend this big lead. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters.
There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Giants. A big play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Giants are able to cut into this lead. Well called, well blocked, and then he just made a great play. That was an athlete going a long way.
Yeah, how about the suddenness, too, of just getting there and taking off and going? For the defensive guys, plays like that really hurt.
Rosas good with the extra point, and that will shave one more off this lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep.
Anytime you field a kickoff inside your own end zone, you've got to be decisive about whether you're bringing it out or not. Sometimes that indecision can really cost you. That may have been what happened on that play.
On first down, it's Craig. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Protein spill. Check. Go.
13-yard line.
Go. 36. Go.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Craig. And all the way to the opposite 45. A big play here for Dallas. 42 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll run on first down. It's Stevens. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down.
And this is an example of breaking down a defense, because in a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Back to throw. Stanley. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. The point after is good.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in, because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. And chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down. He already has 2 sacks to his credit. Now another tackle for loss.
And you know how you can always identify who was supposed to block him? They're the ones helping up the person who...
And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. They'll take it at the 42. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. So here are the Cowboys to take over. They are working on that very impressive 9-game win streak, looking to get it to 10 as they've got the lead here, 1st and 10. They're throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. It's a gain of 16 in the Dallas 1st down. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch. And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. Nice chunky.
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A great play there with another touchdown, number 24 on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. Point after, up and good, and the lead will swell by one more. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. New York set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Looking to throw. Herbert. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now in Arlington. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Throwing on 3rd and long. Herbert. And the pressure gets to him again.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. That's pulled in at the 32. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. Officially, it'll be a 68-yard punt return score as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. New York set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The Giants on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, Herbert nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pulled in at the 24. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says? Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
On second down, it's Craig, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for fourth down.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
I got him. Switch. Watch the ship. Hey. Ready.
On fourth down, Stanley forced out to his left. Now the ball comes loose, and the Giants have it. It's picked up. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. And they're going to come up empty here on fourth down.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick?
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. He's at the 30. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to
nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Cowboys.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Following the fumble recovery, Stanley. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball.
Under pressure, they got him again. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw. Herbert.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and
they're going to sack him yet again. The pass rush has been relentless. This time, it yields a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
Now! Check 20 now!
On first down, Stevens. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big pickup of 38.
And having built that kind of a lead, they're able to do whatever they want right now. All momentum on their side, especially now running the football.
Yeah, you're talking about a defense being on their toes. They don't know what's going to hit them next at this point.
No, they went from toes to heels, and they're trying to figure out how to get back to the toes part.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's second and 2. That one looks like he'll throw here. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
You draw Corkins. Check 52. Five.
They'll run on first down. Craig. And now we're going to get a timeout. Somewhat pointlessly called with 3 seconds to go in a game that's already been decided. The last run good for 2. Here's second and 8. They'll try the left side. Stevens. He's got the first down inside the 10. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a first and goal. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome. Put a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top. One of the fun parts about working with you is that we've learned that there are different ways to do things than the way we were brought up to do them. This is Madden. Of course they were going to go ahead and get another score. What do you mean take a knee?
And that just makes the final margin even more lopsided. I think they earned themselves a cold drink from the fridge, right?
There's no doubt
some
about
pretzels, too, some hummus. Go crazy.
See, we've learned.
Go crazy.
We have learned the Madden way of doing things.
The extra point up and good, but this one was decided anyway, as that will be the final action in this ball game. So we had action to the very end of this one, the score on the final play that they didn't need to have. They didn't just run out the clock, though. They added to their final total.
Played it all the way to the end, and you know, some coaches preach that and tell their teams, that's what I want all the time, and they feel like if they don't do it themselves, they're not living up to the message that they're sending out.
So for Dallas, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And now they'll have the short week ahead as they'll host their annual Thanksgiving Day game on Thursday. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they're going the wrong way as this will drop them to 3-7 now on the year. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin.